Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
Guys, where are we?
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
Welcome to the Outer Rim. Enjoy your stay.
Here come the heroes to save the world from destruction. They are X-Men.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun, and we're back talking comics once again. And this time it's Deadpool Wolverine Wade Wilson III, #2. And it's again written by Joe Kelly and drawn by Adam Kubert. And when we discussed the first issue, the only thing that I said was, it was a little bit underwhelming in the end. It was a little bit like, what is going on? And I hoped that issue #2 would give us a lot more. And it does. It does, and it delivers. And it does still make me wish that they had given us a little bit something. But I think it was important a little bit for them to hold back, for us to really understand what happened to Deadpool in issue #1 and what this story was going to be about. I think it purposely hid some of that away from us to make us think we were just getting, and maybe not this, but to me, it made me think that maybe we're just getting this kind of standard book, Deadpool's and Wolverine fooling around, having a weird adventure. But the Wade Wilson III part of this, why it's called WW3, it's a different book. It's not a silly book. It's not just Wolverine Deadpool shenanigans. It's a really interesting story, and I should have really gotten I should have felt more secure just by the very first few panels of the first issue, which was Wolverine talking about, and we're seeing the berserker, his origins and the rage and the blood, the monster and the claws, fighting seeing different versions of himself throughout the years. And he's attacking himself and a kid. And with issue #2, what we see is at least surface level, what the villain's about. Now he's working with a bunch of people, he's selling, these moments to people, right? It's like the auction house again. But these people, he says, Deadpool came to him. They offered him some money to talk, but what they were doing was they were talking to him about basically kind of like potential and purpose and not having any, and just being this silly clown and how he could be more. And he thought, he was going to be more. And I think his motivations, were to be like a better X-Man, a better, contributor. Maybe maybe he'd be more accepted by Wolverine if he was different. And it's a really interesting look at Wade Wilson's own thoughts on himself, with the realization of is who he is currently, does it have to stay that way? Does he want more for himself? Does he want to just be the wisecracking, insane, merc with the mouth? And I mean, I'm sure that at some ways, you know, we're gonna get the old Merc with the mouth back. But this story is showing like he wants more. He doesn't. That there's Deadpool's got more depth, and and we see this through Wolverine's eyes. He talks a lot about how his feelings towards Wade. And it's like Wade was always aware of it. And again, I've talked about how he's wanted approval from people like Wolverine and Captain America and Spider-Man, not just approval, friendship or whatever. You know, he's friends with some of the most honorable, quote unquote, you know, characters in Marvel. And that includes Wolverine. He's in there, like these people like that, you know, even though Wolverine on the, you know, he's the guy with the claws who hacks people up, but like there's this honor that Wolverine has. There's this thing that he has, this, I don't know what it is. Why, one of the reasons why I love him, right? Is deep down, like he's not just, he's done some terrible things, a lot of it done not under his own control, but a lot of things that were under his control too. And both of these characters are dealing with in this issue, like, do we have to be who we are? Wolverine's more flip about it, but you know that it's going, you know, in the way that the writer is handling this book, that it is in his head now, though. Deadpool didn't want to be the monster he is anymore. He wanted to be better, but he pays a price, and the cancer is back full force and is going to take him out. And he's, as this new character, or this character Delta puts it, he's pretty new. It's not his first appearance, so I guess they're considering last. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look this guy up to find his first appearance. We do have 2 first appearances in here, though. Greta and Snowflake, 2 of the people that work for Delta. Greta is like a teleporter, and Snowflake's just a giant monster that just can pummel the crap out of people. But what I really like is them, after they get away, they're still being watched, and they're going through tons and tons of suffering for not having food. I mean, their healing factors, you know, play a big part in their survival. But it gives Logan a long time to think about him and Deadpool's relationship and what Deadpool was trying to do. And, you know that it's got to be clicking in his head, like I said, of, you know, what if, you know, I didn't have to be the monster? What could I accomplish if I wasn't, if, like, let's say the Berserker Fury wasn't a problem anymore? And we also know that in issue number 1, he was talking about that not happening anymore, that he doesn't want to just be this monster. So this book is about 2 monsters, right? Or, you know, like, and depending on how you want to look at them, having the opportunity to not be this. And what would you do? Would you do what they're being offered to, you know, to do? Now, this guy's clearly just a bad guy. You know, like we see some of his backstory, right? They talk about how, like, parents can know, like, that they're going to do something damaging to you, but they do it anyway because of the result that they want. But either way, this book ends with a good cliffhanger and really making me want to know what happens for the rest of this book. This is a good book. The first issue was a bit of a, I don't know if bait and switch is the right word, but a term, but they definitely didn't have me looking into the characters as much as I should have. Now looking at issue number 1 is way better to me now after reading issue number 2. But since, you know, we've been talking about this for a while now, let's get into actually reading the book. and going over panel to panel what went on in Deadpool Wolverine Wade Wilson III. All right. Deadpool Wolverine WWIII. Parental advisor. And yeah, this is another great thing about this book. It's doesn't hold back. All right, the book's being weird now. All right. This also has another Marvel Remembers Jeffrey Vereg. 50, passed away April 12th, 2024, after a courageous battle with lupus. Wow. I've seen some of these covers. I didn't even, it was one of those times where I was just like, oh, this is kind of neat, but I didn't get any of them, I don't think. But I do think that I didn't realize that these were, because he says is a member of the Port Gamble tribe. This makes more sense of why they look the way they look. I didn't even put that together. But anyway, man, my grandfather died of lupus, so I understand. What is going on with this book? Okay, I think it's all back to normal now. It is human nature to transform our surroundings through ingenuity and will. It is human nature to propagate the species and celebrate our legacy. And we're seeing like a father and a son. So I'm assuming this is the creation of Delta. Or maybe this is the creation of Snowflake. Not sure. Maybe Delta's the guy in the glasses. It is human nature to deploy all of its considerable tools against the constant pull of entropy. Entropy keeps getting brought up in this story. Else the magnitude of our collective truth becomes too much to bear. I think this is actually being read by Delta's perspective, so I'm going to lose the Wolverine voice for this part. Though we may dedicate our lives aspiring to a higher purpose, most will never come close to anything of the sort. The errand itself is folly, though not a sin. The sin is poisoning one's offspring with the delusions of their progenitors. He's like showing him his stats and stuff. And he just smacks him. Promethean cancer, gilded in fine cloth, legacy, dynasty, duty. For the parent knows that the fire of the gods always burns, yet still thrusts the child into its mouth. Like I was saying, the parents know you're going to get burned, but they still thrust you. A selfish bid to defy the absolute truth of life. Subject in the arena, sir? Yes, the becoming has begun, friends. I have talked a lot today, folks. Deadpool Wolverine WWIII. Generally speaking, I don't much care for Deadpool. Specifically speaking, I hate his fucking guts. But I got a soft spot for idiots whose brains get scrambled for the entertainment of rich maniacs. So it's hero time, I guess. Wade! Focus, you ass! It's me! Shunt. Swish. We're chucking the used parts now? Okay. Shh. I prefer the quiet. Thrilling, isn't it? Such a prestigious catalyst. Did you ever think you'd live to see him up close? Very gruesome, yes, but I'm anxious to get Mr. Wilson's true becoming. That's what we paid for, after all. But that's the Wolverine. He's an impressive physical specimen, but not much happening upstairs. You're impossible. Do you think that Delta planned this? No, and if the Wolverine upsets the experiment, my funds shall be withheld. Idiots. Greta? Please prepare yourself. This becoming requires a new set of parameters. Kind of looks like Negasonic. No, not really. Pop. So this is Greta's first appearance. She's chewing bubblegum. Everything is so clear now. I'm floating. Everyone should feel this quiet. Arrgh! Screw this. You're losing sympathy points, Wade. I've been there, brain full of probes, out of my damn mind. Only one thing ever shook me out of it. Pain. Right through his... Which is something that Wolverine and Deadpool just exchanged. Just head wounds, just wounds. They exchange wounds all the time. Pain speaks to Savage and Savant the same way. Had enough? Yes. Yeah! That's awesome. There is something I want. You are in my way. Destroy what's in my way and I get what I want. Simplicity. Bitte schon. You dipsy-doos get car sick? Ka-chomp. So she can create a teleportation. She can teleport people through like a psychic mouth that she creates. That is, I love the visualization. Behind the ringing in my ears, I hear a snap. I'm sad to admit I recognize. Spinal cord shattered. Death for any regular chump. Deadpool's a special kind of chump. 3 seconds before he's back on his feet. Mr. Logan, if you would be so kind as to stop impaling my patient. He's still in recovery. Before you attempt to eviscerate me, I would like to explain your predicament and your options. Call me Delta. Expensive cologne, ballistic fibers threaded with silk, sweat of a vegan. Even if I wasn't pissed off, I'd want to gut the bastard. But he's holding the cards, so he keeps his insides inside for now. What did you do to him? Exactly what he asked for. The opportunity to achieve his quantitative the opportunity to achieve his quantitatively the opportunity to achieve his quantitatively best self, his becoming. Wade Wilson III serves a higher purpose with no self-destructive ego to derail him. His potential for greatness is exceptional after he has adjusted to his new life. What did you do? So, like I said, he's removed parts of him that were holding him back, I guess you could say, or how he felt they were holding him back. I would love to explain bleeding edge biomechanics to an uneducated dullard. Try me. I forget how tiring self-proclaimed heroes can be. Somewhere people are laughing. He's wearing an earpiece, putting on a show for those high-class turds in the masks. What's done to Mr. Wilson is done, and I assure you it was done exquisitely. Concern yourself with what comes next. I'm here to offer a becoming of your own. You're not offering jack. It's the bastards in the masks. Ha! Got your number, D. Even broken clocks are right twice a day. Tainted experiments are not worth finishing, but those who watch want to know. Is the Wolverine at his best only when he's at his worst? It's a theory. One that we shall test rigorously. Logan? You came. Why did you come? And ka-chomp. Wade? Hey! Fucking Deadpool. North Russian geography ain't my strong suit, but I know the tundra when I see it. Minimum 1,000 miles from where we started. A lot more if she ported us east or west. So they're out there being watched still just to see. Gonna wire your teleporting jaw shut, Greta. Ready to move? Need some height, see if we can spot a village. Good idea. Only idea. You don't sound like yourself. Typically that would thrill me, but not if you're fixing to make more trouble. No, I wanted to kill you, but I got over it. We should part ways for both our sakes. Like, none of this sounds like Wade Wilson, right? I'm here because you wanted me to follow you. Deadpool did. Yes, I'm sorry about that. He was frightened, I guess. I'm not frightened anymore. I'm not him anymore. Third time's the charm. The fuck does that even mean? So they're not fighting. Boo. This will be better, darling, won't it? Watching even two exceptional specimens fighting is like most of human civilization, a nasty, brutish, and short event. Sometimes meaningful change requires endurance. So they're waiting to see what kind of change, I guess, Wolverine will have in 1,000 miles where no one can rescue them. You heard him, folks. We need exotic meats and a lot more booze. It's going to be a marathon event. And if we're not entertained, the last event engineered by our esteemed Mr. Delta. For the first few days, we just walk. Barely a word passes, which suits me fine. Except when I want to know why I got pulled into this, or worse. when I catch myself annoyed that he hasn't cracked some pubescent one-liner. A week in. Water we got. Food, not so much. And still no answers from Wade Wilson III. Isn't this a pickle? Sometimes he talks, but to himself. If I gave a shit, I'd have a complex. I stay sharp, keeping a bead on the watchers. We're animals in a cage without bars. By week 2, I've come up with over 100 ways I'm gonna hurt those people. Week 3, nothing like anything. More trees, more mountains. Healing factors are gonna stave off problems for a while. The cold is still cold. Body full of metal does a number on my core temp. Week 4, he started coughing. Wet, deep, red. Need to stop? No. 6 weeks. Wade Wilson III finally starts to slip, and the idiot I know comes through. A little. Come to Siberia, he said. We'll have a blast, he said. It'll be life-changing. Week 7. Barely made it 10 miles today. Haven't seen or smelled game in weeks. Probably Delta's doing. The thought finally sparks in the deep recesses of my brain. Something don't change. Deadpool ain't gonna make it. Pickle, quite a pickle. Once you're a pickle, can you ever be a cucumber again? I'd kill my mother for a fucking box of Slim Norton Slim Bits. Wow, never had a smell hallucination before. Oh. Slow, slow. You puke it back up, I ain't making you another. Oh my God. Rabbit? Raccoon? Nope. He's really enjoying it. Okay. You took me out for a nice dinner. Least I can do is float the conversation. And that's what he looks like after what they did to him. You know, the thoughts that keep you up at night. Why am I so screwed up? Does God hate me personally? Will I ever not feel like a walking, talking piece of crap? The old me would drown those thoughts out with various recreational poisons, but this last time, couldn't shake it. Unfortunately, as I have a feeling you know intimately, guys like us can't just turn off our brains through the usual means. Everything just grows back. It's a special kind of hell. One I deserve, but that doesn't mean a guy doesn't get tired. One of those who watched came sniffing around, offered me 10 large just to chat. I obliged, figuring there's more gold to grab. Enter Delta. Knows my story, has my records, claims he can fix me. I laugh at his face. Says that my life can't have meaning because the bad parts of me, the worst parts, are gonna live forever. My healing factor, distilled from your healing factor, blessing and a curse, kept me from dying of cancer, but it also kept me from dying of cancer. Delta didn't bother trying to mess with the healing part. Lost cause. He supercharged the cancer, 10,000 times more virulent. Voila, mortality. The worst parts of me will die, so that maybe the better parts will get fucking shit done. I traded time for purpose, and then I screwed it up. You wanted me to stop you. Wade, I'm not your friend. I'm not your fucking father. No, you're the one who figured this all out. Mutant outcast suffers through the ass end of life, gets turned into a literal monster, and does unspeakable things for shady asshats. But even after that, you became more a man. Third time's the charm. Mercenary psychopath with cancer turned beloved ex-adjacent anti-hero icon turned an actual human being? The world will never know. While I find survival stories quite compelling, my patrons have grown bored. Cannibalism notwithstanding, we must move to the next stage or the experiment ends. Fix him. I did. He squandered it. As per the contract, he will either relinquish his biology to our work or be destroyed as he helped destroy the failure in Vancouver. I'm not afraid. Hush, Snowflake. Adults are speaking. Logan, can I ask you something? Isn't it tiring pretending to be civilized all the time? I ain't getting baited into your sick shit. Mr. Wilson admitted defeat and through that found strength. Can't we agree that his time on this earth has been an utter misery? I'm not afraid. And can I just say again, Adam Kubert has so many levels and so many ways of making Wolverine stories look that any of his books look, but like since Wolverine is like his books of Wolverine are probably the most that he's done, or at least that I've seen him do. Man, oh man, can this guy's got range for this character. Ouch. Exactly. Has your life been lived better than his? Or have you just had more time to hide that the Wolverine is just a monster? Sneaked. I'm not afraid. Oh, I'm not afraid. Show me, child. I'm not afraid. Huh? Crack. Arr! Wait, Mr. Wilson, before you throw away what remains of your life, an alternative. Your becoming was stolen from you by your former self. I'd like to remedy that. Wham! I can reset the clock on the experiment of your life. Wham! Reset the cancer and give you another precious finite parcel of time. Wham! Send you back to civilization with purpose. To answer the question that's plagued you since your first illicit thought. Wham! Am I truly a monster, or can I yet be a man? Don't die a meaningless death for the entertainment of wealthy fools, Wade. Show them that you can become more. Can't see, can't hear, feel. I feel everything. That's the worst part. I'm not afraid. Boo. Not afraid. And I just love this, man. Oh, man. Fucking Deadpool. Shit. Goddamn legs. Come on. And he's just getting ripped apart. Chomp. Rip. Flesh wound. I'm so happy. Not scared. Happy. Cracked. Thung, kung, clang. Boom, 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 boom. Crack, thud, bang, crash. Thud, wump. Not afraid. Not afraid. Throws his head. Fuck. Guess we're just putting that healing factor to the test. Scrunch. Wade, you are afraid. To be continued. So he just like smashed dude into like nothing. So what's going to happen next? I don't know, but parts of him are together. Parts of him aren't together on the cover of the next issue. But that's par for course for Wolverine or Deadpool. Both of them getting body parts cut off and having repercussions of that, especially with the Krakoan age. Wolverine body parts were very valuable back then in the age of before times, like when Krakoa was just the... Anyway, that was Deadpool Wolverine WWIII #2. And I mean, I gotta say again, fantastic. This is a book with depth, going deep into the characters and who they are at their core. Are they monsters? What are they? You know, like, do they have to be this way? Does it always have to be this way? It's an interesting question for both characters to be asked, for both characters to go through. This is not just a throwaway book. This is a lot darker than I expected, a lot less fun, but fun is subjective. I'm having a lot of fun reading this. This is an excellent story as far as character goes. And again, it's just a lot more than I expected from what, again, is usually a book that comes out around this time, around the time of a movie. And you think this is going to be throwaway. And again, if they hadn't done what they did in this issue, I might have thought that. But this is a really interesting story now. And I can't wait to see what happens in #3. So, if you like what we've been doing here, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, all that jazz. Otherwise, keep reading comics, be good to each other, and have a nice evening there, bubs. Bye. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum.